With the Sunrise on the Reaping movie coming out later this year, I thought now would be the perfect time to share the best reading order for The Hunger Games, in my opinion. There are many ways you could read this series, but the two biggest ones are publication order, which starts with the original trilogy, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, and then the two prequels, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping. Or you could read them in chronological order, which is where you start with the prequels, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Sunrise on the Reaping, and then the original trilogy, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay. I am here to tell you that the best way to read this series for most emotional damage and as a first-time reader is publication order, and that is a hill that I will die on. Both of the prequels were released after the original trilogy, so these are more of like additional stories that add more depth and knowledge to the world. Technically, you could read the original trilogy and never read the prequels and be absolutely okay. I don't recommend that, but you could. My point is, you don't need the prequels to understand the events of the original trilogy. However, I feel like you will have a better understanding of the prequels if you read The Hunger Games first. Both prequels have a lot of references to The Hunger Games, especially Sunrise on the Reaping. There are a lot of Easter eggs and references and little details that if you read these first, you're going to overlook a lot of them and the importance of them and how they relate to the Hunger Games, because many of them are subtle or they're only mentioned once or twice. I also felt like I had a deeper emotional connection to the characters of the prequels reading these after the original. A lot of the characters in both of these are in the original series, especially in Sunrise and the Reaping, where so many of the characters in this are also in the Hunger Games. And so I felt like their stories were more meaningful to me in this, knowing what they eventually become. The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes also takes place many years before the Hunger Games. So it takes place during the 10th Hunger Games. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I do think it was more meaningful to me reading this after knowing what the games eventually become. The epilogue in Sunrise on the Reaping also has a really great reference to the ending of Mockingjay. Again, I felt like I had a deeper connection to that after reading Katniss's story. And if you want to be like me and spend an entire afternoon sobbing after finishing Sunrise on the Reaping, then you should definitely read this one last.